Here with the very latest is the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Jim Jordan, along with former White House Chief of Staff and former Congressman Mark Meadows is with us. You know, both of you were very, very pivotal in exposing this big abuse of power corruption scandal. All right, Mark Meadows, add this new technology, couple it with what's going on in Israel and how potent this is, how all freedoms can be taken away. And Christopher Wray, who never cleaned up the FBI, is buying this technology.
Well, obviously, the biggest thing, Sean, is that our founding fathers wanted to make sure that search and seizure is done under a particular format. And when you start to look at the ability, the technology that is out there right now, Congressman Jordan hit this many years ago, actually, in the Oversight Committee when he was serving there. When we start to look at really what the technology is able to do, it is very, very frightening. And you mentioned Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu and some of the reporting that surveillance has taken place there. It shouldn't happen in America, and quite frankly, we need to make sure that we have safeguards, whether it's a member's office, as has been alleged with the Capitol Police, or whether it's private citizens with this new technology.
Jim Jordan, this is a massive corruption scandal in Israel, and I see the same thing here. Why would we believe for 1 second that the very people that knew that this was a non-verifiable dossier, they knew Hillary paid for it, they were warned off it numerous times, then when the subsource even told them that none of it is true, they still applied for more FISA warrants to spy on then-President Trump? Why would we trust them with this type of technology until they clean up their house?
No, you're exactly right. The same FBI that spied on President Trump's campaign, the same FBI that set Michael Flynn up 4 days into the administration, set him up in the White House. That same FBI, which we now know is spying on moms and dads who simply had the audacity to show up at school board meetings and speak out against this curriculum. That same FBI, the leadership of it, now has this amazing technology which should only be used on terrorists. That's our concern. No one has any problem using this on terrorists. Our concern is, are they going to use it on us? We know what they've done to parents, putting a threat tag label on parents. So this is frightening. And I would ask a simple question, Sean. What if Peter Strzok had this 4 years ago? You know, Peter Strzok, who said, I can smell the Trump supporters at the Walmart. What would Andy McCabe, John Brennan have done with this technology 4 years ago? That's what's frightening, and that's why this is so concerning, what happened with what the FBI is purchasing and the situation with Congressman Nels.
I would like an answer to what Director Wray, if Republicans get back to Congress, which I think hopefully they will in November, would you start an investigation, Congressman Jordan?
Oh, we got to do, we got to get to the bottom of this whole DOJ, FBI going after parents. I mean, but for that whistleblower coming forward and telling us they are putting this threat tag designation on parents, are they going to use this spyware technology on the same parents who now have a threat tag label on them? So that is definitely something we got to get to the bottom of, and a whole other number of investigations that we also have to have.
You know, I could think of a lot of good uses. It was so bad, Mark Meadows, it got to the point that for national security reasons, I supported the FISA court. But because they didn't clean it up, I can't in good conscience support it any longer. Because they never got to the bottom of it. They never held the people responsible, accountable. So the message is the deep state can pretty much do whatever the hell they want, and there'll be zero consequences, and there's no way this will not be used for nefarious purposes.
Well, you covered this in your monologue. You said that 99% of normal FBI personnel are honorable public servants, and it's probably 99.9. What we need to make sure is some of those who have actually used the system to make a political point or actually violated some of our civil liberties, those are the ones that you're talking about that we need to make sure of. But let me just be very clear. We are on a fast pace technology-wise that will all of a sudden enter in all kinds of dynamics that the courts have never even looked at. You know, if you can have spyware that's actually on your cell phone that collects all kinds of data, can you imagine unseeing things that you've actually been able to collect? We need to make sure that our civil liberties are protected each and every day, regardless of that. And you mentioned the FISA court. We need to make sure that we use them just for the bad guys abroad and not on U.S. citizens.
Well, it's a simple, basic, fundamental right. It's a constitutional right. You don't have justice if you don't follow the rules. Jim Jordan, Mark Meadows, thank you both.